Welcome to Yappin with Yanna. I am Ayana Talbert, first with Bourbon Street Bookers, and I have with me one of my absolute faves, Nako, aka Yvette, but we all know her by so many names, but we know her as Wonderful.
Oh, I
She
love
is
that.
just so talented, guys, and I'm so excited. I'm so honored that she agreed to sit with me today and yap about two of her recent releases that are right behind me, Inhale and Exhale. And oh my God, she has no idea that we were all in need to exhale, and
Mhm.
she did a fantastic job. And so I felt like it was really important this month, Mother's Day, we celebrated that we get into inhale and exhale, especially for women. So let me just say, welcome.
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for having me. As soon as I got the email, I was like, oh, you don't even have to ask me, I'll do it. So I was happy that you thought of me because I've told a lot of people no. So, but I would never ever say no. So,
Listen, I'm so geeked about that. And because I know that you haven't been doing many interviews, that's why I
mm-mm.
was honored. That's
Yeah, I don't
why
like the interviews. I don't
I
like
was
them.
so honored that you said yes to me. So
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate the support.
thank you. Let me just start with, we all have been familiar with your work,
Hmm.
and what I, as a reader, as a fan, have witnessed is your growth. The
Hmm.
Underworld and everything before it was wonderful, it was amazing. But what I saw in these two books showed me healing, redemption,
Hmm.
growth, um, just new beginnings. And I
I
came to
agree.
look forward to it. I was explaining to our readers that we started out with K Yvette. If you read Nostalgia, that was our intro to who K Yvette was and what a journey it was. That was a beautiful story that really, and then we got Living Single from K Yvette, and it's like, oh sis, you bringing us to where we needed to be. And I think I feel as you being a young author, this is exactly what we need. We have been embracing so much toxicity, in our world. So it's not funny in our relationships. But what you're
Hmm.
bringing here is fresh, is new, is dope. It's exactly what we need. What do you want to tell your readers? I read some of your posts about how some new readers are just jumping into your catalog, and of course they're wanting some more Underworld because they like the drama. But tell us, what's your message to your readers? What you want them to know?
I actually just deactivated Facebook because I'm so overwhelmed. And for me to once stay respectful, because we're all humans, and for me to still, I guess, write from where I write at, I just feel like Facebook can easily become the devil. So I just wish that people will give me grace. Um, I wrote the Underworld in a place. I wrote Inhale and Exhale in a place. And it's like for you guys to still want to enjoy the books, why not let me write what I want to write? I can't force out the Underworld. Like right now, everybody's waiting on another book from Off the Table. I can't, them characters have not crossed my mind since I wrote that book. So why would I force myself to write something that I'm not even thinking about? Right now, I'm thinking about Bishop. I want to write about Bishop. So it's just kind of like, let me just respectfully do what I want to do and trust me enough to know that y'all are gonna like it. And until the readers can understand that, I think I'm cool on Facebook for a minute. I just mentally can't. I keep being trying to be respectful and they ain't getting it. So I'm taking a break from social media and yeah.
From that place, I truly
Yeah.
understand. From
Yeah.
what you just stated, I truly understand, and I get that the demand on
Now
this
I
art.
understand why authors
Yes.
don't be having reading groups or, now I get it. And I've always prided myself on being super close with my readers. but I'm kind of getting to a point where, now I get it why, most authors don't have the reading groups.
Yes. Well, I can tell you for a fact, you being one of my absolute faves, Love Belvin and
Oh, I
CCJ.
love her.
Yes, and CCJ, because I was introduced to your work through Love Belvin.
Oh,
And
wow.
and the thing for me is that's exactly what they put out there. Protecting your mental space
Mm-hmm.
is so important. Your
Mm-hmm.
art is delicate. It's
Mm-hmm.
your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that they're so forward in saying just what you just said.
They
I'm
don't
not doing
play. I'm like, how I
you
ask
know,
Love all the
period.
time, how do you do it? Like, I love to cook, so I be want to post my food. I'm like, Love, you don't post nothing. Like, how do you do it?
Have
But
you had
now
an
I see.
opportunity to engage your face?
Yeah. Me and Love have spoken several times. I've got to hug her in person. I've met Christina. I've
Oh,
met
wow.
Sakira. I've met Nia Forster. That's my favorite author. I think I've pretty much met all my favorites except what is her name? The lady who wrote $1 out of 15 cent, Christine McGill. I
Okay.
haven't met her, but I love her. She's in my top 5 as well.
You are now the next Love Belvin. You're like, when I say that, I mean, like, not that you should be in any category with anyone, but
I would
you
love that. Can
you're
God make that
now
happen?
the next author that there's some young author that has been inspired and is
Yeah.
aspiring to be like Nico. You're
Yeah,
that
that's
now.
cool.
Because it's
That's
like
cool.
the idea of, like I said, how excited I am today to be with you. It's like the idea of writing like Nico, getting an audience like Nico.
Mhm.
I've appreciated the space that you created, because what you created was a safe space, no judgment zone, an
Mhm.
opportunity for readers to engage one another, but even with you, with spontaneous posts. And
Mhm.
I know I got more involved last year. I was
Mhm.
even Reader of the
You
Month.
are a bright light. You what? I think I put your name in one of them books. I can't remember
You
which
did.
one.
You
Was it
dedicated
Living Single?
the book to me with
Was it Corman? No,
no, it was
Ambrosia.
my baby.
I think it was Living Single.
It was after well, it was a I just wrote it, and
Was
I
it
had my messages,
Nostalgia?
my notes here. I'm so horrible with that. I
Was it?
had
I think
COVID,
it
and I
was
blame
Nostalgia.
everything on COVID when I can't remember.
That's good. I think it was Nostalgia.
No, it wasn't nostalgia. 1+1.
That's what it was.
Yes,
Ash and Pat. You love
yes.
them. I was not studying them either. You was rooting for them. You
And
was
for me,
reminding me
it
of
was
baby
like,
showers and
hey,
weddings.
sis,
I'm
don't
like, Miss
forget me, the
Ayana is
baby
not
shower.
playing.
Remember that? But you made me fall in love with you. I mean,
Mhm.
literally with your work, with your art, but more so your spirit.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And you brought me from a place, and I don't know if I ever shared that with you. I know we've had our chats, but you
Mhm.
brought me from a place where I was really down and out, and you lifted me with your characters, with your writing, but again with that inspiration that you brought,
Wow.
the conversations that you have, the Nako, the end letters
The
that we get, the
endless, yeah.
emails. It's like, oh my God, where did she find the time? Where
Listen,
your
let's
podcast,
talk about it.
the passports, all those wonderful conversations. I felt like I was talking to you. I felt like we
Mhm.
were having our one-on-one,
Mhm.
and I view you as like you're the same age with my daughter. So the idea of seeing somebody so young, so wise, you're literally like a sponge, you're picking it all up. And what you did in Inhale, with Naomi, introducing us to Our Letty.
Mhm.
We all need a basement. We all
Mhm.
need a Letty in our ear. What I just spoke to my sisters about recently was that we didn't get what you're giving readers today. Things
Mhm.
to aspire to as far as relationships go, right?
Mhm.
We weren't told we should find a man, and some of us don't even have the example in our lives, right, of what
No.
a man should be.
Mhm.
We don't have relationships to model, but I know you speak to your readers. And if you're not a reader and you're viewing this, I want Nako to tell you guys what brought her on a journey to bring us Naomi, to bring us Bishop, to
Mhm.
bring us Arletty. What brought you there?
So As always, with any book I write, I never know that it's gonna go like this. So what happened was, the author that I purchased these book covers from, Brienne Dene, I wanted to write an erotica. So that's why these covers are so sexy.
Ma.
And I was like, how do you write an erotica? I didn't even know what to do. And so when I started writing, at the time I had just finished watching a sermon from Jamal Bryant. So I was still super emotional. So that's how Bishop came along, with him being a pastor. And the reason why Naomi is a tennis player is because my job, I had to do research on Black female athletes. And with me doing so much research on Serena and Venus
Mm.
and Naomi Osaka and Althea Gibson, I said, wow, the next character I write about is going to be a tennis player. And so when I sat down to write, I had Black history in my head, I had Jamal Bryant in my head, and I just started writing. And Leedy came about because me and my grandmother had a conversation, and she takes care of an older woman that has dementia. And my grandmother is enjoying the stories that the lady has been telling her about her life. And my grandmother calls me and tells me these stories. So all of those different elements came together, and before I knew it, the erotica was getting pushed back, and I started getting deeper and deeper in the book. And when I wrote In Hell, I was preparing to move to LA. So I told my editor, I said, do you think the readers will be mad if I just cut it off? I said, because I have to start packing, like I have to go. I don't have time to get deep off in the book like I would like. And she said, I think this is a good introduction. And so we just stopped it. Literally, as soon as Bishop got off the elevator, we stopped because I had to pack. And I was like, I'm going to get settled in. And I promise I'm going to drop this book as soon as I can. So that was the plan. We did it. And I was literally writing Exhale with just boxes. Like my house wasn't even unpacked, but I was so excited to get off in the story. And so Exhale was supposed to only be like 100 pages, and as you can see, it ended up being 507. And I just started going through stuff that I wasn't expecting to go through, and before I knew it, the book was getting longer and longer. And yeah, that's how it came. So nothing that this was supposed to be an erotica, like it
Won't he do it?
didn't happen. It
Won't
had a
he
few
do it?
spicy scenes, but it didn't happen the way that I intended for it to go.
Won't he do it? It
Yeah.
went the way he intended it to. You knew
Yes.
what you
Yes.
needed to get out.
Yes.
What would you say you got out of these books, specifically In Hell, since that's where we are right now?
I did some crying. I did a lot of crying. I don't think I acknowledge death really well, and it's crazy because I write about it in so many of my books. And just just growth. Like Naomi was so closed off. I'm not an affectionate person at all. I don't want to kiss. I don't want to hug. I don't like holding hands.
Mm.
And Naomi showed me that it's all about the person that you're with. Like Bishop didn't bring that out of her, but Logan did. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
what I learned in Inhale. It's all about the people that you have around you. It's all about your tribe. It's all about who you're looking up to, who you're taking advice from. The book was good. Like
Oh,
I'm
it
really
definitely
reading it now. I
was.
think I'm on 79%. And I'm reading it with my reader hat on. And it's even better when you don't have to read it as a writer. So I'm enjoying the book. I'm literally reading it at night on the patio at the pool. I love it. I wish I can write a part three. It's really good. It's a very good
Listen,
book.
when I got into Inhale, it was at a time when I was literally just like, okay, you hadn't written anything in a while.
Mm-hmm.
You had given us a few novellas. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be transparent and say, I was like some of the readers, like I wanted more. I was being greedy because
Yeah.
I missed the Nako.
Mm-hmm.
But what I respected and appreciated when reading Inhale was that Nako, that part of her spirit is trying to die off, and
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to grow. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm on that spiritual level where I understand that we're not going to necessarily do the things that we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a fan of Sarah.
Jace Roberts. Yeah, I love her.
Yes. And I noticed you share a lot of things with Jamal Bryant. So, when you really personally look at an author and what they choose to share, it helps give you insight as to where they are. And my 40-year-old self recognizes that. And I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. And the fact that you're sharing about your grandmother, because I'm such a grandma's baby, to the point where I love to sit at her feet and let her tell me stories. Both my grandmothers, my maternal and paternal, just turned 88.
Oh,
yes. Both of them did.
Oh, I commented on the picture. I said, look at her looking good.
Girl, she is a mess too. And so I often pick their brain too, for wisdom. And my mom, my dad's mom, I often have those conversations. I have those conversations about relationships as I'm trying to help my daughter to
Oh yeah, me and you've had spoken about that.
Yes, not make these mistakes. I was so grateful when I was able to convince her to get out of a relationship that was really toxic, where she was not being made a choice. And once she came to realize that too, was coming to her and showing her worth. That's what your books are talking about. Even though she doesn't want to be a reader, when I can speak from the perspective that you're giving, I can be the 27-year-old Nako. I don't have to be
screenshotting her the pages. That's what I do. None of my friends read my books, not one. So
girl,
I just screenshot.
They don't know what they're missing out on.
I don't care no more. I used to carry on, but I don't
You
care.
have a gift. Oh my God. And Bishop, what you showed me with Bishop? Man is man. Man is man.
They're flawed all day.
He can be covered in a cloth, but we have to receive that he's man first. And when you put a man on a pedestal like that, what you have to do is give grace to all of them, because we don't know what baggage they're carrying.
No, we don't. I hate that. I with all these rumors around Jamal Bryant, I was getting so angry. I was like, he's a man. Okay, like y'all are coming for this man of God. You are not supposed to put your mouth on thy anointed. I don't talk about saved people. I don't talk about Christian people. You keep your mouth off God's chosen ones. And it was really important. And I DM'd him too. I was like, I wrote a book about you if you want to read it. But yeah, I don't like that. And I really wanted to show that. I remember a reader messaging me like 4 years ago, maybe 3. She's a pastor or something, whatever. And she's like, I don't like that you put these church scenes in this book and then you're cussing in the next chapter. And I said, well, I'm going to keep doing it because I still cuss and I go to church, and I've never, predicted or said that I was somebody perfect. And whatever way I got to get people to God, I'm going to do it. So if it's a sex scene right after church, then that's what it's going to be.
But you got to keep it real.
It's a holy erotica. Like,
you got to keep it real.
Yeah, you're going to get the word in this book and these sex scenes.
Listen, my pastor always says, Henry Ballard, he always says, you have to meet the people where they are.
Where they are.
And guess what? The ones that's saved ain't at the church, ain't in the church people.
No.
So you have changed so many lives. One of my favorite reader sisters who again connected through Maisha Parrish, she mentioned how your book really touched her spirit. It really helped her to give her some perspective on her faith and on her Christian journey and some changes she wanted to make in her life. I'm just big on, nobody can't say anything about Nico because I'm like, that's my baby.
I saw a comment, somebody said, I wish she'll just get back to her urban books. And I was like, yo, I've written so many of them books. Like, golly, I gave y'all 14 books in the Underworld. Then turned around and wrote Ambrosia, Son of a Dun when I didn't want to. So I'm not doing that anymore.
No, and you shouldn't.
Not saying that I won't do it. It's just not where I am right now.
Right. You shouldn't. And that's what, like I said, what I was telling you earlier about CCJ, that's what she says. When they're not giving it to her, she doesn't. She's not entertaining it. And I don't feel like it's a reader's job to tell an author what to write because it's an art. Yeah. It's a part of you. It's an expression of what's given to you. And so like with Love, she doesn't tell us release dates, right? She doesn't tell us what we're going to get, but you're going to love it. Whatever it is she's giving you, you're going to love it.
And you're going to respect it.
Yeah, trusting that she's the artist. She
Yeah.
knows. So, Logan.
I love him. I do. Yeah, a
How
lot of
did
people
we
feel
get
like he
How did
failed.
Logan infuse himself in this?
I got mad at my real life bishop and started talking to a new guy in the middle of me writing Exhale. And to me, it was just a breath of fresh air.
Mm.
But he was flawed. And so I would tell him all the time, I like you, but it's something about you I cannot put my finger on.
Mm.
So although it wasn't drugs, he ended up having a baby on the way. And I felt like that was something he should have said, when he first pursued me. But because I felt like a baby would have been so cliche in a book, typical Nako fashion, I'm going to take it over, I'm going to make it drugs.
Mm.
And so, although I enjoyed my time with him, I just kept saying, it's something off about you. You got a secret. Something ain't coming together. And so I just used some real life situations and put it in the book. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
But you brought him healing. Is
Yeah, I
that how your
did. Before I
story is
released
coming
him,
together? Are you
I
getting
don't
healing?
block. No, I ain't talking to him no more. But I did. I before I did cut him off, I gave him love and light and peace. And I told him, I feel like you served your season in my life. And I was like, and I'm okay with, releasing you back into the universe.
Mm.
I needed to get over my bishop. And, these last 10 months were fun. Thank you for the awesome time. But I ain't talking to nobody with a newborn. So
Okay.
goodbye. But yeah, I
That's
didn't want to kill Logan in the book because so many people had already died. So I just gave him a happy ending.
and that's what you did. You gave us so many gems in
Mhm.
Exhale, and forgive my eyes. I am working on
Mhm.
them, on training them to look forward.
No, no,
But
no,
you
you're
gave
good.
us you gave us so many gems in Exhale. The wisdom that came from it, even with Bishop embracing Naomi, praying for her, prophesizing to her,
Mhm.
basically just still loving her. And it
Mhm.
came all from a place of him being genuine, but
Oh yeah.
him recognizing his own hurt.
Mhm.
That's one thing I realized as we go through life. We're not recognizing what the other person is actually going through. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We only see what we're going through. And I'm gonna be again a little transparent here. Married over 20 years, and trust me, it is not paradise, okay? By no
Mm.
means. There have been moments where, we've basically said that this is over,
We
this
ain't doing
is
this.
it,
Yeah.
but God is all I can say is but
Mhm.
God. There are still some challenges, but what has given my 40-year-old self some
Mhm.
insight is books like these,
Mhm.
having conversation, having some open-mindedness, because my 20-year-old self didn't get none of this.
Mm-mm.
I didn't get any of this. I didn't get the importance of making sure there was friendship
Mhm.
in your relationship before there
Mhm.
was anything else,
Mhm.
right? Knowing your own personal worth,
Mhm.
identifying yourself as somebody that is enough.
Yeah,
I don't
for
care if your
sure.
waistline ain't trim. I don't care if, your hair ain't this, or knowing that you are enough. And I
Yeah.
too have struggled through my life with weight. So the idea that we find ourselves comparing ourselves to other women or tearing other women down,
Oh, yeah.
right? So all of it is familiar.
Mhm.
Your recent blog that you released, oh my God. Girl, that blog, I was like, all right, I'm like running here doing praise dances and carrying
Yeah.
on. I'm like, sis, you have really released it all.
Mhm.
And what we got, and you said her name is Leedy.
Lady.
Me
My
and this
mother has been
Louisiana
pronouncing it
girl.
Letty too,
Yeah,
because
that's what I want to call her, Letty.
I like Letty too. The name is Alita, but it could have been a letter. I just let people say whatever they say because my mother kept saying Letty, and I said no, Mama, it's Lady. Hey team, hope all everyone is well. Just send a reminder. Okay.
Sis, when I say she gave it to us, she gave it all to us.
Yeah.
She literally gave us everything that we needed
Mm-hmm.
in the spirit of knowing. When sis saying nothing cute, Ain't nothing cute about an insecure woman. Man.
My father told me that I'm 27. My dad told me that when I was 22. And it has stuck with me through every relationship. Every relationship. His favorite thing to tell me and my sister is, you are a diamond, and diamonds are so rare. And he used to always tell us, I lost my train of thought because these emails coming in. He would always say, you never tell the new person what the last person did. And I had a habit, you know how God be like, what happened to your last relationship? And I'd be like, oh, he cheated, he was broke down. And my dad said, no, that's not their business. You tell them that y'all ended as friends. He said, because it's automatically, men look at it as an insecurity. Oh, you accepted that. Oh, so that means I can drag you through the mud then. So literally, it's always told me it's nothing cute about an insecure woman. Even if you do feel fat today, or even if I got my face breaking out, it's nothing cute about an insecure woman. And
that
I've
was a message
for years, like literally years.
That was a whole message in itself. And for you to have that message delivered by my Lo, you know, like Lo being a character from the Underworld who literally went through, she came out eventually, a few books later, but that was her growth. That was it, which again, now she has Sarah to bring up, right? So when we're talking books, and I'm one of these readers that will speak to you as if you know what I'm talking about when it comes to these books, right? I see humans, I see people every day, and I literally be like, that's
Lo.
That's Lo. That's Nasir. You know, that's me. I'm in my papa. You know, we have them all, but I really have found peace from your writing, from your art, from your gift. I've found that it really is an escape, but it's a gem. It's like, you know, literally having a friend in your pocket that's on the pages that's available to you all the time. You can revisit it.
That's why I'm reading it now. I'm 79% in of Exhale. I just had a emotional week, and I was like, okay, the Bible ain't getting it this week. I've been trying. And couldn't really connect with any sermons this week, and was in a book rut because I'm waiting on Love to drop, so I'm not reading it. And I was like, let me just finish reading Exhale without trying to edit every word. And so that's what I've been doing, and I've been enjoying the book, and I've done some crying this week with Naomi, with all of them, and it's been really refreshing. I needed to read it without trying to change everything, because the book is out now, the reviews are in. And normally I try not to read my books as soon as they drop because I be wanting to change everything. So now I can read it and enjoy it without criticizing myself. So I'm really enjoying the book right now.
Your motto that I'm getting is constantly give grace. I'm giving myself grace. And again, when I look at you, you have no idea how proud I am of you.
Oh, thank you.
I am so proud of how you're transitioning into, you know, this womanhood. You've accomplished something that many young people your age are not accomplishing. So I want to make sure you get your flowers. Okay. I want to make sure you know how great you are.
Thank you.
In every aspect of it, everything that you actually have strived to be, the things that you're sharing with us about your personal life, writing for a television series or whatever it is that you're doing in Hollywood, right? In my mind, I'm like, listen, she didn't wrote this story before.
Yeah.
You spoke it into existence.
Not to check these people because they don't know that I don't wrote in all these books. So technically I'm at the bottom of the poll. I'm literally nobody. If they ask me to go to Starbucks, I gotta go get coffee. So it's been humbling to not, you know, speak up and say, well, why don't we do this or why don't we do that? But it's also teaching me that there's joy in the journey. And just giving myself grace, knowing that hopefully this time next year I'm the one saying we killing all these people in this, you know, scene and stuff. And it's been okay. You know, I can give you a list of complaints, but I'm sticking with it because I know it's going to pay off. So.
And it has. I'm like, so I don't know if any of my viewers have watched the Kennedy Family, but that's exactly where I found myself coming when you share about your own personal journey. I always call her Sa.
Oh yes, I call her Sa too. So Sa.
You know, she did that. She basically brought herself, and that's why I'm seeing you. Do you do you find yourself identifying? I know at one time you used to identify with Lo, but do you find yourself identifying different seasons in your life with the characters that you've wrote? Or
so it's crazy because this is the first time that I actually remembered that Savannah was in film. Thank you for reminding me. I definitely forgot. It's always Low for me, Nia Hudson. I always say in another lifetime I'll be like a therapist or something. So of course, Dr. Mighty Moore. I love Grace. Grace is my
I
girl
love
all
Grace.
day.
You know how I
We
feel
don't talk
about Grace.
about Grace enough. Grace is the epitome of life itself. I think that's pretty much it. Low, Grace, Dr. Mighty Moore, Nia Hudson, Giselle every now and then. I think that's pretty much it off the top of my head.
And then you brought us a little bit of Yara.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
I forget about Yara so much.
what you brought us with her. You got Yara, Lo. You even have Sarah there present in Exhale. And again, what that shows is their journey, right? It's literally saying, listen, been there, done that. You know, had the man that wasn't shit. You know, literally had this one and had that one, and God gave it all back to me. What I thought I lost,
Oh
He
yeah.
gave it to me tenfold. I didn't lose
Oh yeah.
nothing. You know,
Yeah.
that gracefully broken song comes to my
Oh
spirit when
yes.
you think
Ooh, that's my
about, you
jam.
know, the things that you had to go through to get the peace that you're currently in that season, right? There's so many things that we've been exposed to. Letty actually reminds me in the real world of a little bit of Tabitha Brown. You know how she talks?
You love her. I need to follow her on Instagram. I only know what I see people repost. But I do know somebody told me to listen to an interview she did with Kirk Franklin and an interview that she did with Steve Harvey. So I do need to make time to check out both of
Listen,
those.
sis has such a calm spirit about her. She too, she's someone, an influencer, which I'm not big on influencers or anything like that, because I hardly do anything but read, really and truly. I'm not a television person. Every now and then I'll sneak in something, but I love her. She and I are about the same age. So, you know, it's like, that's my sister, you know?
Yeah.
So we can relate to each other because of our culture, because of the things that we've experienced in life. I believe she's been in her relationship some 20 some odd years as well. Yeah, her and Chance. And so there's just a little bit of everything that I'm tapping. I bring you into the same part. I saw you in Chelsea Maria.
Oh, that's my girl. That's my girl.
Yes. You two are both in that season, and I communicate with her the same way when I say, oh, my young authors are just, oh my God, y'all. I even spoke to one of your readers to say, the one thing that I appreciate God for now in my life is that I realized those things that I went through, it didn't happen to me, it happened through me to be a vessel for so many others, right? And that's what I'm getting from y'all, and you share it in your books. You're getting to readers that need it. Some might not appreciate it, but again, that may not be where they are, so they can't appreciate it, right? But I don't ever want you to be discouraged from delivering what you're delivering and putting it out, because, oh my God, you got a message. You got a message that I am sure is saving some lives out here. It's helping turn people around. Just because he gave you that engagement ring, sis, don't mean he the one. Don't mean you have to say yes, you know? So, you know, there's always that ram in the bush. And that's what we're getting from that. You also gave us a little peek into Jermaine's life, and I'm calling him Jermaine because, bruh, man, you know, when he stepped out and said, listen, I fulfilled my dad's wish, my dad's dreams, his desires.
Daddy is dead and gone.
Oh, girl. on the other side. And what, you're gonna stay and be miserable.
Mm-mm.
So for brother man to just, oh my, I'm really anxious to hear his story. Even his sister Joe, I know she has one.
Yeah.
So I want you to know that you have been doing an amazing job. I have enjoyed this journey. Ash and Pat gave me a little bit of something when you brought us Friendsgiving.
Oh yeah, my oh Jesus, yeah, that's a good
that too was beautiful. You know, when you speak on friendships, living single. Again, a little peek into everybody's world, the different dynamics of girl problems, right? We all got going through something. It may not be the same thing, but we're going through something. And again, as a reader, and a fan, I appreciate that you take your journeys and basically make them into messages. Your relationship with God is so personal, and you have no problem with sharing it and speaking on it. Who encourages in your family? Who encourages or who inspires your journey? And who even told you, look, listen, it's not about, religion. It's about relationship, because that's my emphasis.
The crazy thing is I'm the only person in my family that goes to church.
I know you lying.
Do not believe me.
I know you lied.
No. What? No, not none of them, not one. No, my dad isn't religious at all. He respects me, but he ain't tuning in. My sister, if she needs me to pray with her, she'll call me. My brother ain't doing it either. My mother was in church really heavy, experienced some church hurt and never went back. So that was like, I was 14 when she stopped going to church. So I've been the rock. It's been me. I've been holding us down. I've been at the altar for my whole life.
Standing in the gap, huh?
Standing in the gap. I had an aunt that would pick me up every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Friday, 3 times a week from I was in the 9th grade till I graduated from high school. She made sure I went to church with her. And when I got to college, I found a church in
Mississippi, right?
Mississippi. Yeah. And if y'all ever see him coming on my stuff, his name is Tony Yarber. So I give a lot of credit to him. He actually just called me last week just to keep me uplifted. And it's been me and my mom and them, my mother. And what's crazy is my mother can pray you under a rug, and she doesn't pray. At least I don't know what she does in her personal time, but I miss hearing her, be excited about God. And so when she was here last week visiting for Mother's Day, like I do every Sunday, I had Jamal Bryan on, and she was in there ironing her clothes, and I just started hearing her speak in tongues. And I had to pause the TV because I'm like, girl, I ain't heard that in a minute. And so she was like, that man is preaching. And so I just said a quick prayer, like, God, restore, her faith. She dealt with some really bad church hurt, and she couldn't bounce back from it. She was like, I'm cool on, Christian people. And so, but yeah, it's me, all me. I'm standing in the gap. I'm the rock.
Woo, girl, you got the back for it, sis.
Yeah.
You got the back for it. You're the eldest, which you and I have that in common. Because I too am in that same boat where being the eldest, being a mother, and being a wife, that I have to stand in the gap. I was really proud. My husband went to church Mother's Day. I couldn't go.
Oh, see, I would have been crying. I would have been so happy.
Girl, I didn't make it to church. My daughter took me to the winery the day before, and I had a hangover.
Oh Lord! Well,
so I got up and took something for the headache that morning. But of course, I did church online, so I was able to witness. But he went and he was with his mom, so that was her gift. So it was. I was excited. I was proud of him. I'm like, and that's what I really want. I was so proud of him that he didn't let me deter him. My not going, because I've expressed to him over and over again, this isn't about you pleasing anybody. This is about your relationship with God. This is a one-on-one, But I digress because I know I can get a little long-winded. Your relationship with your family has really spilled over in your books and in your art, and even in your podcast, when you were doing the passport, and you share so many realistic things. When you were talking just a moment ago, the song that set in my spirit was Deliver Me. Do you find yourself, because you introduced me to that song.
I love
This
that
is our
song.
Exodus. You introduced me to that song, and I was like, oh, I'm hooked. It's on the playlist.
That's my jam.
Do you find yourself having something playing in the background, or maybe playlists, or maybe conversations when you're writing? What's really speaking to you when you're able to write, or is it just all over the place, like it just comes randomly?
No, I have to write with music. I've if I'm at the coffee shop and I left my headphones at home, I'm like literally going home to get them. Um, I normally write my sex scenes later. I'll just put insert sex scene. I can't be writing all that nasty stuff in the morning after I don't spend time with God. So I'll normally come back and do my sex scenes later. And the spiritual scenes, I do those when I only feel led to. So sometimes, I know for Exhale, that scene when Joanna was praying for her brother, I was crying so bad
Girl,
when I
I
was
felt that.
writing that. I like literally like had to shut everything down and I just went on the floor and I just worshiped for so long. I don't even remember getting off the floor, but that scene had shifted my entire day. I didn't write for like 3 days after that because I was so mentally, God had answered a prayer without me even knowing that I had prayed it. So all those scenes are really personal for me. Anything that I'm writing, those declarations, you're healed, you're delivered, all that is what I'm hearing God tell me for myself. So that's how those scenes went.
You were just what I needed today. You were just what I needed today. Your grandmother, I remember you mentioning in a post one day about her reading your books, right? So has she commented on Inhale, Exhale? Has she read those? And
I'm trying
what
to
kind of
think.
feedback has she given you?
My grandma likes the super hood books, like the small law. I don't really read urban, so I'll see her reading like I'll be like, Grandma, how did you even know to get that book? So right now she's reading. She texts, "Hi Nicoria, I'm reading Love in the Ghetto. How did you come up with this book? Please share." So I guess after she finished that one, she'll read. No. Yeah, she said April 23rd. She said, Nicoria, I'm reading Inhale. Wow, this is amazing. So I don't know if she got the Exhale. Yeah, I'll have to ask her. But she loves the books. My grandpa said that she be reading the sex scenes out loud. I said, "Oh my God,
Go
Grandma."
ahead, Grandma. That makes me think of Alexandria House, because she be cracking us up
Her
about her
daddy
dad.
be reading. My dad said people call him all the time about the sex scenes in the book. And I said, now why are they calling you and you my daddy? And you got to look at me and call me baby girl. I just think it's hilarious. But he coaches Little League football and all his team moms read my books. And he said they be like, oh, your daughter taught me some new tricks. I'm like, ladies, please stop telling my dad that. He don't want to know nothing about that. Oh, yeah.
Girl, people don't have any etiquette. It's like, oh, nah, that's not the conversation. It's not for daddy.
No, he's like, give me one of them books. I'm like, no, sir. Like, you cannot read these books. But he's proud. He's happy.
So tell us, what's next for Nako, the writer?
Probably Sarah's story. I want to drop it prayerfully this summer, July. It's May now, and I want the book to be long. So I think Sarah will be next.
What about Nako, the woman?
Trying not to quit this job every day. I'm on the road to losing 100 pounds. I got like 29 more. So that's important.
Congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
look awesome. You look
Thank you. I feel
amazing.
good. Thank you. It's
When
my
I saw
birthday
that picture
breaking
you
out. So
took,
ugh.
girl, some water, gonna get that on right on up.
Listen, I'm on my second bottle for the day, knocking it out.
But you know, us women, we gotta go through something. Our hormones, everything, just it comes
Yes.
out
What
everywhere.
is going
So
on? Every day I wake up with a new bump. I'm like, what is it? So I know sometimes everything got to come out before it starts clearing up.
yeah. You introduce us to self-care. You're always, and I was so proud of you because you spoke in your our most recent about how even your money management, because you were Amazon queen, shopping queen, and you've even gotten that. Tell us, what is self-care for Nico?
Unwinding. As you know, I get off social media a lot. I got off this morning. I never want to be so busy to where I'm, one, not hearing God, and two, not listening to my body. And so even here now, I've yet to adjust to the time schedule, the zones. So here I wake up at like 5 in the morning every morning, and I hate it because I'm so still sleepy. But I believe that God is still telling me, even though you're so busy, wake up early and still spend time with yourself, because you can never pour from an empty cup. And so for me, self-care is just refilling that cup. I not every day, because right now it's not even possible, but at least once a week, just, spending time with me without any interruptions, whatever that may look like, whether that's sermons, podcasts, TikTok videos. For me, it's cooking. I love to cook. Talking to my readers, I have a good time doing that. Just making sure I'm never not keeping myself first.
That cooking, I mean, even the drinks that you come up with, I'm like, I'm so impressed by your presentations. And
I love making drinks. I love it so much.
And again, when you cook these meals, and I know you're on this health journey, how are you managing self-control? Because see, my greeting behind, I'm like, I'm going head first. I mean, your meals, they look
I have a very, very small appetite, and I've been wasting food like that my whole life. My grandmother taught me how to cook, and my father is one of 17. So she don't know about no small portions. So I don't know how to cook little.
17.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's 5 baby mamas, but and I'm gonna write a story about my grandfather one day, because all them women were friends. It's weird, but my grandmother never taught me small. So I live alone, and I'm still going to make a whole pan of macaroni, a whole pan of lasagna. I don't know how to cook small. So when I be cooking that food, I waste so much food. Oh my God, so much food.
I've gotten better with that, because I used to cook big portions. Now that it's just me and my husband, and a lot of things he likes, I don't particularly care for. If it's something that he really likes, I'll cook a lot of it. Like yesterday, I made some shrimp pasta that he really likes. So I was like, you can have it all, dude.
Thank God for the air fryer. So now I can just put, one piece of salmon or a few chicken wings, something like that. But like when my mother was here, I cooked, and they thankfully ate all the food, because if not, it would have been getting thrown away. Yeah, I love to cook.
And let's talk about your creative juices, because you have when I say creative juices, I'm talking about the decor. I'm talking about, like, I'm looking at your wall behind you, and you share that with readers, how creative you were with that. You tell us about that. What really inspires that? Because you have such a unique style. Like I've seen you, pick up things in the store that you share with the readers or what have you. What are some of the things that you really like that really speaks to your spirit? Even like when we talked about living single, remember we were modeling, having all the different rooms that we envision being in somebody's home.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
My mother is very eclectic. I don't know if you guys have been able to notice from the pictures, but she's always been like super hippie, she's from Trenton, New Jersey. So then she was moved to Houston and then was brought to Atlanta. So just think, she got the north, the south. Like, she's always raised us to put whatever you want to put on. And that's been me my whole life. Thankfully in LA, they pretty much be tacky all the time. So I feel like I fit right in. But growing up, people used to always say, "Oh my God, you dress so weird," or you dress like an old lady. I love blazers. I love chunky rings. I love interior design. I love dark paint. Now I'm stepping into wallpaper, so I want to wallpaper my whole house. But I think anything gold. I love elephants. I love turtles. I love owls. I love coffee mugs, notebooks, candles. Just home. I'm really big on home. My parents are in the music industry and we're gone pretty much our whole lives. So me, my sister, and my brother spent a lot of time at home, and I'm just a homebody. I enjoy, really enjoy being at. If I never have to leave, I won't. That's why I
Girl, that's
want to
me.
set every day. I'm like, people really leave the house every day. Oh my God. So it's been a journey. Having to put clothes on every day. I'm like, wow, people really do this. Like I've been
Listen, I
writing for
felt
six
like I
years
was
at home.
Nico. I felt like I was Nico. Remember, you used to talk about how you had to get out of the habit of just keeping pajamas on all day.
Yeah,
Girl, for
yeah, I
2020,
love it.
when we had the opportunity, which I'm still mostly at working from home, but I really could connect with you when you were talking about staying home. I
Yeah,
love it. I
yeah,
don't ever have to leave. And it's so much peace. My husband was having a fit being locked inside all that time. I'm like, boy,
I
please.
feel so bad for people that feel that way. This is my third week having to drive to set every day. I've had to put gas in my car. One, so much. Two, I don't like eating out for real. I prefer to eat at home. So having to eat all that fast food this week, because there's nothing by the set other than Chick-fil-A. So I've been to Chick-fil-A like 5 times in the last 2 weeks. And I told my mom, I said, I have to go get some more clothes. I need more bras, more panties, more jeans. I said, I've never left the house this much. How do people go to work every day? I hate it. Like I have to leave here in an hour now, and I'm like, so now when I get home, I'm getting home at what 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I'm going straight to bed. Like I need to wash dishes. I need to wash clothes. I don't see how people do this every day. Like how do people? And just think, I don't have no kids, so I can't even imagine the other people at my job. They still have to go home and be a mom, a wife,
Mm.
walk a dog. I come home and go straight to bed. It's just been such a transition. It's been a transition.
Well, I know with the busy schedule that you have, and I definitely don't want to take any more of your time, but I just
Mhm.
really want to let you know how much I sincerely appreciate the time that you've taken to talk
Thank
to me
you. Thank
and
you. Thank
giving the readers of Bourbon Street Bookers so
you.
much of you today. This was my gift. This
It
was
has to be
like,
organic. And I know that you were gonna come from a place of peace. And I knew you wasn't gonna just, make me be uncomfortable on it. I don't like the interviews. People be asking some off the wall questions.
oh
And I'm
my.
like, I'm already so transparent. So it's like, don't take it too far. Like, damn, I'm giving y'all as much as I can. So I'm thankful. Very, very thankful. This probably the only one I do. So God, be blessed. But I'm happy. I love the book. I know you loved it. You shared your sentiments with me. Um, so I was honored to do it today. Really happy to do it.
So happy to have you here. I'm going to wrap up with the readers. I need you to stay with me for just a brief
Okay. Oh,
moment.
I'm good. I'm good.
But thank you guys for joining us. I will keep you guys posted. There will be information and the links on how you can get more of Nako. It's nakoexpo.com where you will get it all. And
Yeah.
there's so much more. I will make sure you guys have access to her newsletters where she's sending us some tips. Hopefully she'll keep that blog going, that Excel
Yeah. I'm
blog.
actually gonna write one today.
We'll be looking forward to it.
Okay.
And so, readers, we will reconnect next time and look forward to what Nico brings. Thank you for joining us.